first. What I'm going to do is just take the tweezers and kind of pull away at this membranous sac that kind of surrounds the chick. There will be some blood vessel rupturing, and that's okay. Everything's normal there. And at the earlier stages when you're doing this, that's when you're going to want to be the most gentle with it. These later stages, the chick is a little bit more resilient, so it can take the pulling. So I just kind of work my way.
This embryo has been euthanized in the freezer, -20 for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, correct. So I just kind of work my way around it until I can tell that I'm not pulling on any extra membranous tissue. And then I know that the chick is pretty much loose laying in there. I'll take the spoon, and I'm going to need the distilled water as well. Kind of get right underneath it with the spoon, pull them up, and observe if there's anything still hanging off here. Usually you're going to get a little bit of an attachment down near the umbilical region, so you can just kind of chop that right off with your scissors, hopefully. Perfect. Then kind of spray down through the top to remove any of that excess blood, yolk, whatever liquid you get there on top of the chick. Clean it off in a sense. Kind of anchor it down with the tweezers and let the rest of it drain through. And then you can slide it down onto the platform where you're going to take all the measurements. I usually take the head to rump measurement first, and then measure the eye, but what we're going to do is try to kind of get it into a more fetal position here where we can actually observe the ventral body wall as he's laying here on his stomach. So here we're actually seeing relatively normal development, at least from what we assume it should look like at this stage. The ventral body wall being closed, a little bit of an opening still near the bottom of the gastrointestinal region, which we've determined is normal at this point. And I'll get an image of that super quick. Perfect. Then, next step is take a Kimwipe. Kind of dab around the edges here and get any more of that excess liquid. That'll eventually affect the mass when we take that, so we want to get rid of all of that if possible. There's going to be a little bit of it in there anyways, but at the earlier stages, this is the part that you also have to be really, really careful with, because I've had it happen before where I placed the Kimwipe right next to the embryo and I just sucked the entire embryo up with it. And you're kind of at a loss. So, head to rump measurement, you kind of want them to lay its most natural position, and the head usually kind of just sits in there itself. And it'll kind of, you can feel it out. It'll always give you a little bit of resistance down if it wants to move down, a little bit of push back up. So once you find that comfortable spot, that's how it's going to naturally be laying. I'm going to curl the feet up because we're not actually going to measure down to the feet. And this is nice too because we have, I know how this is supposed to look, kind of just off the top of my head, but we have a tiling spreadsheet that you can refer to. So we have embryonic day 13. You can pull out the spreadsheet, look at what embryonic day 13 is supposed to look like in terms of measuring the head to the rump, and then you can try to position it as accurately as accurately as you can according to the image. Ruler underneath. At this point, I'd usually take another picture as well, so we could tile it next to the developmental pictures we've been taking. But like I said, we're not going to measure to the feet down there, so we don't want to get that into the way. Head to rump measurement is going to be from the top of this bulb on their head. It's kind of protruding bulb all the way down to the bottom of its tail region down here. So we'll draw a little imaginary line across. And man, it's covering the 4. I can assume that's right around 3.9 estimate there. So 3.9 centimeters for head to rump. Diameter of the eye at this point should be pretty consistent for all the chicks. Doesn't really matter whether you measure top to bottom, side to side, it should be the same either way. And now you can really position the embryo however you want, whatever's most comfortable for you, because you already got that head to rump measurement. My hands are a little shaky. They're right around 0.8. Yeah, so 0.8 is pretty standard after E11. It's right around when you should see that. Then pull the embryo up, place it back on the spoon really quick. Dry this guy off.
Want to use any label?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. I can see those. So instead, we're going to tear away boat. Now we're going to have to actually dry him off again. .67 grams.